Hey everybody, this is Lauren once again. I am making this video to show you, don't mind the cat noises in the background, my cats are going crazy, to show you my ongoing PS2 horror collection, which includes some pretty rare, hard to find games that are considered really expensive now. So let's start off with the very first game we see here, which is Horror Ps2. Believe it or not, I really lucked out on this one because I found this one at a military flea market. That's right. I found this in the military flea market for $15. Now, at the time, I had just heard about this game, and I wasn't really expecting too much to, find it in a yard sale. I was expecting it to be in pretty bad condition. But I will say I'm pretty surprised at how good of a condition it is. It doesn't have any kind of rips. It doesn't really have anything like that. It did have a little bit of residue up here. But what I did was I took a little bit of baby oil and I cleaned that off. If you wanted to buy this game on, say, Amazon, you're looking to drop at least $175, if not more, because I know this game is constantly raising in price. Now, a little bit about this game. This game is about a girl named Jennifer. Oh man, if I can remember correctly, she pretty much goes through like this nightmare where she's, and once again, I'm sorry about the cats. I don't know why they do this whenever I make a video. This game is about a girl who kind of goes through like this airship type thing, and the game's main peak is it's about little girls who kind of have like their own rules in their own little hierarchy. The princess is obviously like the highest, rule there. I mean, if you're the princess, you pretty much get to rule over everybody. There is a reason why this game was banned in America, which is another reason why I wanted it. Any game that's banned in America, there's got to be a reason for it, right? After playing through the game several times, I'll admit. I mean, I have like the best of everything. I'm kind of a dork like that. After playing through this game, I can understand why it was banned, because here in America, we're kind of closed-minded. Like, not to offend anyone, but we are kind of closed-minded whenever it comes to things. Now, some point in the game, and another reason why this game, that reminds me so much of Haunting Ground. See this little dog down here? His name is Brown. I believe it's Brown. It's been a minute since I've played this game. I might record some gameplay later on if I feel like it. But now let's compare this to Haunting Ground. Once again, you have your iconic female there. Her name, Fiona. I had to think for a second there. And then you have your dog down there. But these games are similar because it has a strong female lead and a dog as a companion. Now, in Horror Ps2, your dog is used to find objects. You can choose an object, and you'll kind of see it in the game. You can choose an object that kind of has like these little question marks. And that means that if you select it and you have Brown search for it, he will kind of lead you throughout the game, trying to find these objects. And you'll know that he'll find something because he'll go right over it. He'll start barking and the little object will start shining. Henceforth, you have found said item. So it's actually a really good way to find healing items. So if you guys want to play this game, remember that healing items are not easy to find. You need to use your dog to search for them. He'll also find key items too. This game has an amazing storyline. I mean, it really does. It's incredibly graphic. That's for sure. I mean, these little girls that have kind of got their own little hierarchy going on, they pretty much punish and torture the main character throughout the entire game. And it's just really sad because the main character, Jennifer, she's supposed to be, if I'm thinking about it correctly, she's supposed to be like 17. So, you know, she's like not super young, but still pretty young. All the other girls are supposed to be ranged between like, I'd like to say 9 to 13. I mean, the more times you play this game, the more, if you don't pay attention to the background and really search everything, you'll miss key factors of the storyline. So if you're going to play this, and if you want to not be surprised, don't use a walkthrough. I guarantee you'll be surprised. Now, at some point, you're going to get stumped and not know where to go. But here's a little piece of advice. Always use Brown. Always order him to search. Pick your item. I might show this to you guys a little bit later on, what I mean by picking an item. Now, don't forgive me if I forgot a little bit of the mechanics of how to play it. It has been like a year or two since I've played this, but it doesn't mean I can't pick it up pretty quickly. Now, you're going to pick your item, right? You're going to select it. Now, if you're looking to advance in the storyline, you're going to want to pick the item that was dropped. This is, you know, pretty iconic for most games nowadays. But back then, it first started off with the boss at the end of a chapter would drop an item, and that item you chose and have Brown, you know, you pick it, you put it in your inventory, you tell Brown search for it, and he'll search for whatever he's supposed to be revealing. I mean, Brown is a pretty cool little dog. I mean, in regards of attacking, not that great. But here's another thing, Brown can't die. In comparison to Haunting Ground, this dog, oh my god, I can't remember his name for the life of me. I'm trying to think. Oh, I remember now, Huey. Huey, okay. Yeah, Huey, you can order him to attack, and if you have him equipped with particular sets, you can change like their skins and stuff later on whenever you like advance in the game. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to spoil things, but this game is awesome. I mean, I never even heard of this game, but I swear to God, I mean, this in Clock Tower. I mean, I knew this probably had something to do with Clock Tower. And actually, if you go on Wiki, Clock Tower 4 was actually supposed to be this game. But it got renamed into Haunting Ground. Interesting, right? I actually didn't know that at all, because I was wondering why the games are so similar. Well, what do you know? They are. Okay. Now, forgive me for a moment. I'm going to open this, and we are going to look at the manual a little bit. I hate doing this. I'm actually recording this mobile. Okay, so let's start this off here. Here you have your two main characters here. You have Fiona, Huey. And no one cares about the controls. Everyone figures that stuff out as they go. I'm sorry, but I don't know of a lot of people who actually read this crap. This game... Yes, I was right. Huey. Fiona is interesting as a main lead woman character because... Okay, the comparison between Haunting Ground and Rule Rose. Rule Rose, Jennifer, that main character, she is terrible at attacking. Terrible. If you've ever played the game, you know what I'm talking about. If you're getting ready to play the game, you'll figure it out, and it's going to frustrate the ever-living bejeebus out of you. Once again, cats are being stupid. Fiona is awesome at attacking. She even has a... Hey! Hey! Okay, sorry about that. Fiona is awesome at attacking. I mean, her iconic move is a kick. You can use that kick ability to pretty much open up jars, vases, sometimes in cover, like, Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had to take a quick pause, take care of the kitties. Here's one of the perpetrators right here. Tell you a little bit more about the game. Now, I'll read this insert here. Once my cat stops getting on my rare PS2 games here. Awakening from a deep, deep sleep, Fiona Belly finds herself alone, locked away in a strange cellar, with nary a thread on her back. Haven't heard the word nary in a while. She is locked in a cage. She must escape, but how? Fiona starts roaming through the old castle. As time goes by, Fiona learns the truth. Sorry about that, my camera decided to go blurry and I couldn't read it. She is the only survivor of a car accident that claimed both her parents' lives. Still unconscious, she was mysteriously brought to this castle, the property of a distant relative. The news is a huge shock to Fiona, but it's only the beginning. A strange-looking man is following Fiona relentlessly, piercing gazes, moving shadows. Is someone there, or is it just her imagination? Medieval alchemic, wow, I just can't talk today, devices and contraptions luminously in neat arrangements. The castle is totally twisted, with an ominous tone in the air. Fiona stumbles upon a trapped dog and sets it free. The two team up in their search for answers, and a way out begins. Where will this demented nightmare take them? Now, just being read that, if you've never played the game before, I'm pretty sure that would make anyone want to play it. I know that, you know, the older a person gets, they may become inclined to not really want to play a game. But I'm about to turn 30 years old, and I still play video games, so I guess it just depends on the kind of person you are, obviously, and, you know, your upbringing. I got introduced to the Nintendo system when I was 5 years old, and I got to play Mario and The Legend of Zelda, both which I did eventually beat, but it was relentless for a kid to do. So here's kind of my take on this game. This game, if you've never played it before, if you've never heard of it before, is really, really good. So trust me, if you see this game that's, you know, kind of worth buying. Now, I spent $50 for this game when it first came out. Now, if you want to buy this on Amazon, you're expecting anywhere near, anywhere between 130 to 200. Because it's rare. It's hard to find. So now we move on to the next game. Personally, I really love this one because it's creepy factor. Kuon. Let's see. So let's read the back here. The tune of Japanese taiko drums and the dark hymns of children are heard throughout the night. Residents wander like ghosts, and hungry demons creep in the darkness. The high-end period of ancient Japan, where mysticism and magic will require you to reach deep within your soul to uncover the mysteries of the undead. Now this game is really hard to find. This is like a $200 game, I'm not kidding. Now look at this little dude down here. Doesn't that just freak you out? This is a PS2 game. I mean, you've got these two kids right up here, which have a meaning. These images are just really, really creepy. Now, if you've never heard of this type of game before, you're really missing out. Now, if you have a friend who has this game, ask to borrow it. You won't regret it. This picture right here is really, really freaky. This isn't even a failed frame game, and this is pretty freaky. I do not get scared easily, by the way. Okay, yeah, another creepy image. Once again, instructions. They will teach you this as you play it. No point in me reading off to you what the controllers are. So here's the introduction. Darkness is a conflicting force to humans, feared by children and avoided by law. Nevertheless, this law may be broken, and those around it get lost within. Here we find two girls in an ominous place with two very different paths. One of the girls is named Utsuki. In search of her missing father, she traveled to the mansion with her older sister. Shortly after they arrived, her sister was charmed by a mysterious song, and they vanished into the darkness. Utsuki now wanders the mansion alone, looking for her family. The other girl is named Sakuya. She entered the castle with her fellow disciples by order of their master, Domain, whatever. Their mission is to investigate the mansion and find out why demons roam about. The company of disciples entered the castle separately. Haven't they ever heard of that saying, if you do something like that to go strength in numbers? Each wanting to be the first to solve the mystery. Sakuya is determined to uncover the mansion's secrets and prove to all that she is worthy. Now the two girls' stories begin. Their life forever changed. Humans should never tempt the darkness. If done, they clash in ways unimaginable. But only then will the fate of Kuon be revealed and the ultimate act of betrayal be known. So that right there is just really interesting. So here you have what your two main characters look like. The first one being Utsuki. Utsuki is a young girl with sorrowful eyes and a trampled soul, along with her sister, who is searching for their father in Lord Fujiwara's mansion. The sisters live in complete isolation at the top of a nearby mountain. They are forbidden to leave. Utsuki blames herself for an accident that injured her sister and has been taking care of her since her mother died. How honorable. And then you have this chick over here, Sakuya. If you notice at the top, Utsuki is yin phase, Sakuya is yang phase. Okay, her description goes as a young exorcist, that's already interesting, she studies the art intensely and processes a strong will. Being born into the Kamo family, a traditional exorcist family, she's been familiar with magic ever since childhood. Sakuya has been studying under a dubious teacher, though, a civilian exorcist known as Doman. While questionable, Doman was the only one accepting of Sakuya, since it's believed in the Kamo family that women are inferior to men. Sakuya is investigating Lord Fujiwara's mansion with 3 other disciples. Okay, now what makes this game so interesting is that you experience something called vertigo. Okay, right here. Vertigo is experienced when a character encounters a tempest, which is an area of concentrated evil energy, or if they sustain injury during combat. The bar at the top of the in-game menu screen indicates a character's physical condition. The bar changes color from blue, yellow, red as a character's condition worsens. Physical well-being is also expressed throughout the character's heart rate, mimicked by the controller's vibration function. Magic cards cannot be used when a character is experiencing vertigo. In order to recover from vertigo, one must either meditate or use spiritual medicine. In this game, you do get to meditate, where you just stand in one spot. It's either the L1 or the R1 button, you push it and the character starts praying. And it's pretty obvious that it takes away the vertigo. It makes sure, it's... And the longer your character stays on vertigo, it's just the worst it is. You really need to get rid of that quickly. So in this game, you can, summon creatures to help fight with you. And here's kind of an example here. So, there's a spell card called Hibari. Releases a small fiery arrow that is propelled forward. The range for the spell attack is short and its destructive potential is small. Okay, I didn't really use that card that much unless I had a crap load of it. The summon card, Sutiguma, calls forth a small spider that fights enemies on behalf of the character. The spider, he's okay. He dies quick, though. Summon card, Furubaku. Creates a magical golden circle that traps an enemy target and prevents it from moving for a set amount of time. that is definitely useful if you're trying to get away from something and you don't have the freaking cards for it. I mean, yeah, you still get, like, right here, equipment. I mean, you still get, like, items to attack them with. Like, you get, like, a knife. If you're playing Utsuki, you get, like, a dagger. If you're playing Sakuya, you get a fan. Yeah, a fan. I felt kind of gypped there. But definitely a very interesting game. The storyline is very intriguing. I've actually never seen a storyline like this before. Whenever I played through all the phases, I actually felt like, you know, I can see why this game is so rare. This one, I mean, if you're trying to play it, if you're trying to buy it on Amazon, definitely expect anywhere around 200 range, because this game is pretty graphic. It's pretty violent. Now, around this time, you have, like, Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I love me some Silent Hill and some Resident Evil, but I don't have any, as you can see, I don't have any Silent Hill or Resident Evil in my collection. Now, I do have a Fear. I have a Fear 1, 2, 3, and those games are pretty good. I mean, I liked, you know, the concept of them. Now, here's Fatal Frame 1. They say it's based on a true story. Now, I've done some research on this. There was actually some people in Japan that went into a haunted mansion and never were seen again. Now, I can try to find that information online a little bit later, but they kind of used that as a basis for this game. Fatal Frame, this game doesn't play around. This game is hard. I mean, even on regular mode, it's hard. Ammo and health items are extremely limited. Now, if you're like me and you try to play this game on hard or nightmare mode, where you can get one-shotted just from them bumping into you, it's amazingly frustrating. Especially when you get to the part where these samurai guys come about. If you guys have played this game, you'll know what I'm talking about. The samurai guys are really frustrating. Fatal Frame 2, I love this game. I actually, I mean, the copy I had before had like some tears, so I actually rebought the game in a new condition. And for the Fatal Frame games, you can expect to buy them brand new and not pay that much. The reason for that is Fatal Frame 1 and 2 were re-released as digital downloads on the PS3. Now, there's no enhanced graphics or anything added to it, but the reason why these two games are not expensive anymore is because they're not considered rare. Not anymore. I mean, whenever I first started, you know, getting into the series, this was a really hard to find game, and it was considered rare. Not anymore, though. This game was actually remade on the Wii. Now, unfortunately, it was never released in America, so I haven't gotten to play it. So I'm pretty sad about that, because this is one of my favorite games of all time to play. Now, there's a part in this game where you get to a part, I think it's like the second or third area in, or I'm sorry, house, where you fight like these little twin girls. They're like dolls type things. The first time I played this, I think I was like 18 or 19. I can't. Is that game this old? I'm trying to find like a date on here. Let's see. I know it's pretty old, but not that super old. I was a teenager when this game came out. And that moment where you had to fight those two little twin girls actually gave me a panic attack. I had to pause and literally just walk away. But I've gotten used to it over the years, but it's still creepy as hell. By the way, if you guys are wanting to play this, I do highly recommend it. I mean, you can play either one of these games out of order. Doesn't matter. Now, Fatal Frame 3, it does tie in the other two games. I mean, the graphics in this are just amazing for a PS2 game. Fatal Frame 1 talks about Miku in her journey. Fatal Frame 2 talks about Miyu and Mayu, twin sisters that go through this village that's known for sacrificing twin sisters to like an abyss, which is really creepy. This game, Fatal Frame 3, it ties into what happens to Miku after Fatal Frame 1. It ties into what happened to Miyu and Mayu after Fatal Frame 2. Fatal Frame 3 also has its own main character. If I remember correctly, her name was Rika. This chick right here is named Rika. And her story is really sad. Her and her fiance got in a car accident. I believe that she wasn't paying attention, or I don't know, something where she blames herself for this car accident, right? Her fiance dies. She's the only one that is a survivor of this accident. It's truly bad, just bad. Basically, the third game is her dealing with her grief and getting sucked into kind of like a nightmare type thing, where, in a way, it does kind of remind me of, if you think about it, Nightmare on Elm Street series, because, you know, Freddy only existed in dreams, right? The area that she gets transported to in her nightmares is nothing like Nightmare on Elm Street, so don't get me wrong there, okay? Freddy Krueger was bitch compared to these ghosts in here, right? I mean, Freddy Krueger could try all he wants, and he's got nothing on any of the ghosts in this area, in this game. It's just really interesting. I do recommend playing all these games. All these games I'm showing you guys, please play them. I mean, you'll have such a greater respect for horror games if you've just gotten into it. Now, an interesting thing about Fatal Frame 3 is your nightmare. And, you see something happens where the main villain character touches the main character, like her shoulder. And, it inflicts like a tattoo that starts spreading around her body, Rika's body. Or, no, I'm sorry, I think it's Ray. I think I'm getting the characters between Fatal Frame 4 and 3 confused, so I apologize about that. I'm actually going to look in the book to make sure. But in Fatal Frame 3, here's another creepy image for you to look at. Your nightmare starts bleeding into your real life. So you wake up from your nightmare, and you do have the option of like going about your house and doing, you know, whatever the hell you want to do, pretty much. Now, there will be some instances where you will see ghosts in your house. So, when you do, it's going to scare the crap out of you. I'm not lying. And no, I don't mean your actual house. I mean the house in-game, obviously. I'm sorry, but if you played this game and you saw a ghost in your real house after playing it, well, I just don't know what to say to that. That's pretty crazy. I think I may have skipped the portion where it talks about characters here. Let's see. Characters. Yeah, I'm sorry. Her name is Ray. I think I was thinking about Fatal Frame 4 there, so I do apologize about that, guys. This is unique to the Fatal Frame series because you can play 3 characters. First character you're going to play is Rei Kurosawa, which, if you guys have played the other 2 games, Kurosawa is a well-known last name in the very first Fatal Frame 1 and 2. Just keep that in mind, the name Kurosawa, okay? Okay, you have over here Miku Hinasaki and Kei Amakura. Yep, you got that right. The characters from Fatal Frame 2 have an uncle. And I apologize if this seems a little blurry. My camera is not really focusing too well here. Now, as the game progresses, you know, you will control these 2 characters. And it will... Oh, sorry about that yawn. You know, these 2 characters will basically kind of go over what happened in the previous games, in Fatal Frame 2 and Fatal Frame 1. Kamakura is in search of his sister, his niece, Mio. Which I'm not going to reveal anything. I'm not going to say why. Miku is, once again, no spoilers. She's got her own things she's dealing with. That's about as much as I'm going to say there. So this is interesting because this is the very first Fatal Frame game before 4 on the Wii. I still haven't gotten to play that one, by the way. Where you get to control up to 3 characters at some point. And yes, all of their stuff does tie in. Now, you can play this game before the other 2, but if you want the storyline, if you want all this to tie in, I do suggest playing these other 2 games here, especially that one. And trust me, the graphics are not all that bad, so you'll deal with it. It's still plenty creepy. Now, a lot of you, really like Resident Evil, Silent Hill. Now, just because I don't have them doesn't mean I haven't played them. I have. My favorite Silent Hill game was actually the 2nd or 3rd one. I did really like these Silent Hill movies. I thought they were really well done. Did not really care for the Resident Evil movies. My Resident Evil game, I really like this 4, because I really like Leon. I think he's awesome. He's kind of like an older version of what I think Cloud would be from Final Fantasy VII. Now, I'm not going to let this video go on for too much longer, so as to not, bore people. But this is my special collection of PS2 horror games. I don't really have anything for the PlayStation 1, unfortunately, but one of the things I wanted to get was Clock Tower 1 and 2, Resident Evil, just all of, the basic horror games. Their very first 1 or 2, games. Now, on Steam, they actually redid the very first Resident Evil in, HD graphics, and it looks really amazing. So if you guys really love that game, and you want, a fresh graphic upheaval, go on Steam and buy it, because it's pretty awesome. I haven't gotten it myself, but if any one of you do, I want to live vicariously through you, because I really want to play it. Now, if any of you guys know of any other scary games that I'm not including here that are worth it, I don't care what console it's on, I will find it and I will play it. Now, as compared to the Wii doesn't really have very many scary games. The ones that I know about are pretty ridiculously expensive, though. So, in this image, to find anything worthwhile for the Wii, feel free to tell me in the comments. Or if you guys want to see anything about the games themselves, if you're thinking about buying it and you're not sure, if you don't really want to look at any other videos, or if you just want to hear what my thoughts on them are, I will tell you. I do love each of these